Do you want to avoid getting ripped off, scammed, made a mockery of by overseas suppliers on Alibaba and similar sites? Well, make sure you watch to the end of the video, as I'm going to be sharing a whole bunch of tips for you that I have learned on my journey of racking up over 6 figures in value of transactions on Alibaba. My name is Ben Donovan, and this is a channel dedicated to business, mindset, personal finances, and succeeding with Amazon FBA. If that sounds like something that might help you in your life, if you want to be freed from the grip that money places over our time and get some time back to make a difference on this planet, make sure you hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm posting great videos, and let's get into the video. Well, hey guys, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking all things Alibaba. We're going to be talking all about how we avoid getting scammed, how we avoid getting ripped off. I'm going to share with you 4 warning signs and 5 best practices that you can employ in order to avoid being scammed on Alibaba. I've amassed now over 6 figures in value of orders on the Alibaba platform, and there's some things I've learned about how to interact, how to create transactions, how to do things the right way in order to protect yourself and make sure your business is successful. Firstly, I want to start with 4 warning signs. When you approach suppliers on Alibaba, what are some warning signs that you might be dealing with a supplier that is, shall we say, less than transparent? Let's talk about 4 of those things right now. Number 1, they refuse to take PayPal or any other method than bank transfer. Now, what a lot of Chinese suppliers initially will do is they will say, we'll take PayPal for a sample, but we won't take PayPal for a full order. And now, while that in and of itself is not a problem, it's the underlying motivation that needs to be understood. If you say to them, well, why is that? And they say the fees are high, and you say to them, well, we're willing to cover the fees, and they still say we won't take PayPal, that's when you get a warning sign. Why would they not? Why would they say it's the fees, and then when you say, well, that's fine, our company will cover the fees, why would they still not want to go into that? Are they worried about getting a PayPal claim on those products, and which would give the hint that maybe the products they're supplying aren't the greatest products, maybe they're not as legitimate as they're trying to suggest. There may be some other reasons why they still don't want to use PayPal. So then the next route would be, will you accept payment through Alibaba's trade assurance scheme? And if they say no to that as well as PayPal, then you just want to immediately write them off. If the only way they'll take payment is by bank transfer, it leaves you with very little security, especially for a first order, especially for a new supplier. So that is when you say, you know what, there are other suppliers out there, thank you and good night. Second warning sign for you to be aware of is when they ask for money to be sent somewhere other than mainland China, Nigeria.
All I require from you is your bank account details and sort code, and we can wire you their monies directly.
Some less obvious ones too, like Hong Kong or Singapore, they often want money to be sent to those places. Again, it's not to say never ever deal with a company that wants these things, but it's to drill down as to why that is happening. And so as a preference, as a standard, we will always want to be sending to companies, to bank accounts that are located in the same nation as the company. So that's the second warning sign. If they say send the money to the King of Nigeria, that's when you should be worried.
Where would you like us to wire their money?
Third warning sign is when they want 100% of the money up front. It's industry standard these days that suppliers will take a 30% down payment in order to be able to purchase the materials and to be able to get production underway, and then the buyer will pay the 70% balance before the goods ship out. That's completely industry standard. So if your supplier wants 100% of the money up front and refuses to budge on that, whatever reason they give, then again, that's a supplier that you don't want to be dealing with. Warning sign number 4 is when they won't sign a purchase contract. I would advise anybody that's beginning a private label business is to always make sure that they write up a purchase contract when they order from a supplier. This purchase contract would involve the details of the order, the specifics of the agreement, like the fact that you're going to have an inspection, that you're going to want it, the goods finished by a certain date, and so on and so forth. If you'd like for me to make a video about how to write up a purchase contract, make sure you drop a comment below, and we'll see if we can get that done as well. So I would always make sure that you involve a purchase contract in your negotiations, that it needs to be signed, not only signed, but really what you want it to have is the seal, is the stamp of the company that you're buying from on that piece of paper. In China, it's the company stamp that is the legal mark that is really more powerful than a signature, and so when you send it to them, you want to make sure it's signed by them and stamped with their official company stamp. Again, every supplier that I deal with that is reputable, that is trustworthy, they're all more than happy to do this because they are a business. This is international trade we're dealing with here. This isn't, you know, we're not just selling things out of the boot of our car on the side of the street. This is international trade, and they know that, and they're prepared for that. And when they're not willing to sign a purchase contract, then something is up. So there's your fourth warning sign. Okay, so those are some warning signs. What about some steps to take in order to ensure we are dealing with the best quality suppliers? Well, here's the first one. Take a look at the supplier's history. If the supplier is new on Alibaba, if the supplier's only just arrived, then you've got less chance of them being a good quality supplier. If they've been on Alibaba for a number of years, then you know, due to the fact that Alibaba vets their suppliers, it vets their members, then they have a much higher chance of being a reputable company. So the first thing to look for is how long they've been on Alibaba. When you go on Alibaba and you go into the search bar, make sure you're choosing suppliers when you're putting in the type of product that you want to source. And when the list of suppliers come up, then you can immediately see there how many years they've been on Alibaba. The second step you can take while you're there on that supplier page is to select the box that says trade assurance. Make sure you select that box so you're only bringing up companies that are willing to work through trade assurance. Trade assurance is Alibaba's secure platform where you can send payments and that you can agree to certain standards in your order, and if you're not happy with them and if they haven't been met, then you can apply to Alibaba for a refund on certain elements of your order. So make sure you check that box. You can also check the gold supplier box to give you even further evidence that they are a reputable company. Just do be warned that the gold supplier option is something that they can just pay for. They don't have to meet a certain number of requirements for that gold supplier status. It's like a subscription thing on Alibaba, so just be aware of that. But do know this, that if they're willing to do that, the likelihood is that they are a more serious player in the industry. Worth considering. Third step to take to ensure that you don't get scammed on Alibaba is to avoid suspicious payment methods. If a supplier wants you to send them money on Western Union, do not do it. Western Union is the last place you want to be transacting money. If a supplier wants you to send them money that way, alarm bells should be ringing right now. Do not send them money on Western Union. Avoid unusual payment methods. Start with PayPal. If they won't take that because of the fees, offer to pay for the fees. If you don't want to do that or they don't want to do that, will they accept payment on trade assurance on Alibaba? Once you've built a relationship with them and there's trust there, then maybe go on to just sending money via wire transfer directly to their account. But I would still recommend, wherever possible, do your order through at least trade assurance. When using trade assurance, you can still pay with a credit card, you can still pay by bank transfer, but it's a way of doing it somewhat more securely. So make sure you avoid unusual payment methods. Step number 4, as we've already alluded to, is to get a purchase contract signed. Make sure you get a purchase contract signed. If you find a supplier that is willing to work with you on a purchase contract, that is willing to sign off on that, then you're much more likely to find a supplier that is reputable and that is trustworthy for the long term. Remember, in this business, we want to build for the long term. It's tempting to go after something quick and easy and the cheapest supplier and the one that promises the shortest lead time and the one that seems the easiest and the nicest, but we're building a business for the long term. So make sure you take these steps to set it up right from the beginning. And finally, number 5, please make sure that you get an inspection. the worst thing you could do is pay the balance on your products before you ensure the quality of them. It doesn't matter how nice your contact is at the company. It doesn't matter how much they ensure you that the products are of good quality. Even if they said, well, we'll send you some photos of the products. If you order 500 units and your supplier sends you 2 or 3 photos of the products to show you, do you think they're going to pull out any products at random? No, they're going to find the best quality, the ones that look the best, have no blemishes whatsoever, and those are going to be the ones they're going to send to you. Make sure you send a third-party supplier in, someone that's not linked to the company, someone that is unbiased and will actually tell you what the products are like, someone that will do a detailed report of the products. Please get an inspection before you pay the balance, because then worst case scenario, you lose 30% of the money for that stock. You don't lose it all. That's the worst case scenario. And by doing this, you ensure that you find a supplier that will actually be reputable and help you on your journey to success. Make sure you communicate with your suppliers. Tell them what we're looking here for long-term partners. We're looking to make this a product that we sell and sell and sell for a long period of time. Communicate in this way with your suppliers, build those levels of trust, and make sure you only source products from suppliers you can trust. Make sure you look out for the 4 warning signs, and make sure you follow those 5 steps to take to protect yourself from being scammed on Alibaba. If you want to watch a video on how we sourced a product from Alibaba that actually ended up costing us £5,000 and the mistakes that we made with that, make sure you just check it out up here right now. That will really help you on this journey too, and help you be more wary of things that could go wrong on this process. And as ever, if you want to learn more about business and business mindsets and how to build an Amazon FBA model business, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's going to be some more content coming your way real soon, all about freeing us up from the grip that money places over our time, getting that time back to invest back in the world, make a difference, and live the life of our dreams. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit my goofy face down here below, hit subscribe. That lets me know that you're liking the videos, and I can keep producing more good ones of them like these ones right here. All right, I will see you soon in the next video.